Bonjour, hi, it is Wednesday, July 29th in the United States and Canada. Summer ups make me feel fine, and this is a show called What Chaos from the Sports Interaction Studio. My name is David Bean. I sit across the internet from Steve Peters, and holding it down in this is going to be a 6-day late joke or whatever, but then holding it down in the city of not Patrick Kane is Sean DePaz. That's the fresh breaking news today. What does everyone think about the Sabres not getting Patrick Kane? Hi, everybody. Hi, Sean.
Hey, I thought you were going with City of Atlantic Division Champions, referencing our reel from over the weekend.
Petey, did you see that? That was like a beautiful 15 seconds of What Chaos.
I missed it. I'm sorry. Please send it to me.
Okay. Sean asked what did you say? Like, I wonder what if they're going to have a banner night?
Yes. I need to know. I need confirmation on whether or not the Sabres are going to have a banner night, I think was my exact quote.
To which I replied, Sean, what do you think happened?
And to which I replied, they won the division champs. They've got division championship banners.
Of course. I can, matter of fact, I can prove that as a member of the staff of the Arizona defunct Coyotes. We had a Pacific Division Championship banner in 2012. I have seen it. It's the only one. You couldn't find it if you went to Gila River Arena. They hid it in the rafters, but it was there. So I anticipate Buffalo will, and as they should, because it's going to be a while before they see another one.
I got bullied off of that take immediately, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, they're gonna put a banner up, and they're gonna acknowledge it. Like 100%. It's gonna be something.
Yeah. Did that person who may or may not have stolen all of the Coyote stuff? Does that person have the banner? Do you know?
I don't see. He did return the Shane Doan banner, which now hangs in a little kids arena here at the Ice Den in Scottsdale. I don't know what happened to the Pacific Division banner. I wish I knew, but I don't know if that guy has it. He may, after he got fired from that and multiple jobs.
I can't remember what happened there, and I hope I'm not doxing anybody or telling tales out of school, but to my memory, somebody came on our show after the Coyotes were getting all their stuff out of Mullet Arena, and was like, yeah, I took all that shit. And we were like, that's pretty cool. And you didn't get in trouble? And he was like, no. And then like an hour later, the important people saw that and were like, yeah, that guy's in trouble now. Is that what happened?
He gone. Yeah, pretty much. And the truth is, and I know people are just dying to get to more Arizona Coyote news, when the team sold and moved to Mullet Arena, it was utter chaos. And they did leave an incredible amount of stuff at Gila River Arena. And there was not a good relationship between the arena and a lot of stuff got left behind. But that's for another day, because people want to talk about the Odyssey. No.
We're going to talk about the Odyssey today, because it's all we do is talk about the Odyssey on this show. I'm kind of burying the lead. Pete is on assignment. Pete is on a good assignment. Pete has been assigned his honeymoon. Pete is in Hawaii right now. What do you know about Hawaii, Petey?
I've been there once a long time ago. It's nice. They got water and stuff, so it's cool, I guess. But it's, you know what? To get to Hawaii, I would have to leave my couch, and that is not happening in the near future. So it's a good Pete's there. I'm glad I can watch it on YouTube. I'll just put like a beach scene on or something. I don't need to go there again. It's a long way.
Travel over Tempe Town Lake.
No thanks. Yeah, it's similar, right?
Steve Peters on Pete Blackburn's honeymoon. I don't need all that shit.
Yeah,
real nice.
Some of us wait till you get, David. Wait till you're 58. Just wait, because your outlook on all of these things will dramatically change. It will. I'm just telling you. You won't wait in a movie theater for 3 hours for a movie. You won't do it anymore. You won't. You'll break it down into a Monday, Wednesday, Friday watch. I'm telling you.
I'll be 58 by the end of Macklin Celebrini's new contract. Or will I be? Sean, could you tell the folks what's on the show today? Do you want to do it, or should we have Petey?
I just don't know how well Petey can see it on his screen.
Yeah.
Can you read those, Petey?
No. I can.
Okay, that guy.
Hockey on my Rich Children's podcast. And we got Jamie. By the way, the Jamie Drysdale get huge, because I cannot wait to hear his take on both Matvei Michkov, which, by the way, Flyers fans love my take on Michkov, just letting that be known, and what he says about Rick Tocchet. So I can't wait for that. Petey Day. Every day is Petey Day here in Arizona. And where will Marchenko That's clever, by the way. Where will Kirill Marchenko go?
Where will Kirill Marchenko? I will elaborate on some of those. For Petey Day, think of Petey Day also saying Steve Peters saw and will review Obsession. That is huge news. In some of the pre-interview that we did with Petey, he has not seen The Odyssey, but he has seen Obsession, and he's got thoughts on it. The weird wrinkle here is that Sean has not seen Obsession. So this will be tough to do without spoilers, but after the Jamie Drysdale interview and after we go kind of around the NHL with Petey, we will get Petey's review of Obsession, and I absolutely cannot wait for that. But we begin with the big news of the day, maybe even the big news of the offseason. Macklin Celebrini got paid. Macklin Celebrini signs a 5-year contract with an average annual value of $18.8 million. It begins in the 2027-28 season, makes him the highest paid player in the NHL. And like Connor Bedard and Leo Carlsson, it forgoes the maximum term and instead buys out just 1 year of unrestricted free agency. I definitely have thoughts on that last part that we can dive into in terms of maybe the depth of the max length second contract. But for now, let's think big picture on this. Petey, how do you feel about $18.8 million, the richest AAV ever in the NHL, going to Macklin Celebrini?
I tell you what, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, I would have said, what the hell's going on in the NHL? I would have. And now that you see what's happened since Kirill Kaprizov and now Leo Carlsson and now Macklin Celebrini, the reality is this is the new NHL. And this is where this is headed. When you're looking at a salary cap headed, upwards of $140 million by 2030, this contract at 18.8 is one that I wonder what we're looking at in 3 years when guys are making 22, 24. I think this is an opportunity for San Jose. You had to lock him up. You have no choice. He's statistically going to be the best player in the league. He's wearing the C for Team Canada. He is all-world player, and he's a kid. Like, you had to make this deal. And I know 18.8 seems like absolute idiocracy, but it is the contract and the way this NHL is going. You had to lock them up. They didn't have a choice. I think it's a good contract for both of them. And now some of these other contracts, like we talked about Bo Byram a couple of weeks ago, like, oh my goodness, did you see what he made? Dude, that's going to be average in 2 years.
Yeah, the 18.8, I don't have as big a price. It's kind of how I feel about the Bedard contract, though, where it's like $15 million a year. If that's times 8, I'm like, yeah, this is standard fare. This is what you do. You overpay on the first few years of the contract to get the player in their prime, and the best years of their career are going to be under your control. But in this case, as you said, it's just kind of the new NHL. They're not doing these max length deals anymore. And I know, Sean, you kind of want to have a little fun with he's cut from the Crosby cloth and he's not gonna do the Leo Carlsson thing. And I'll say this straight up. I love Leo Carlsson. I think Macklin Celebrini is so much better than Leo Carlsson, and Macklin Celebrini's contract is going to start a year later than Leo Carlsson's. So the 18.8 or whatever is gonna be probably around what like the 18 is for Leo Carlsson right now. I don't have the cap figures in front of me, but 18.8 makes a lot more sense for Macklin Celebrini than 18 does for Leo Carlsson. But Sean, how you feel about this?
Oh no, I just found it funny that like I feel like last week I was seeing quotes from Celebrini being like, I don't need to get paid. I'm willing to take a team-friendly deal. And either that man was lying or he got his ass beat by his agent because his agent probably was pissed when he heard that. And then lo and behold, man's the highest paid player in the NHL, which I certainly do not hold against Macklin. Like, get your money, young man. You're the future of the league. But it is just very funny to me that we were like a week removed from him being like, I don't need all that. Whatever puts the team in the best position to win.
Petey, you see the NHL better than anybody and hockey better than anybody. Can you kind of contextualize what I did just say about, like, I think Macklin Celebrini is so much better than Leo Carlsson, and that's not it's a Leo Carlsson put down hour. Young Gritty does that plenty on his own social media. Follow him at Young Gritty, whatever. You're going to have to get used to the pointing emoji or whatever. But like Macklin Celebrini, to me and to a lot of people, has like second best player, or maybe even eventually best player in the NHL potential. So when we talk about how great these young players are, is Macklin Celebrini in a different class?
He is, and unfortunately, you talk about where is he going to end up in the hierarchy of all the NHL greats. Like, he doesn't have what McDavid has in speed, but he does have what he has in hands and his ability to see the rink. Different players, and the problem when you compare Leo Carlsson and you were talking about Celebrini is different roles for different players at different teams. Like, you look at Kirill Kaprizov. Did I think he was worth the contract he got? And I said no, but he is to Minnesota. I think Celebrini is an entirety of a package more so than Leo Carlsson. Leo Carlsson's a great player, can get to the net, big body guy. He's going to put up those numbers. Celebrini is just special. When he is on the ice, there's just this, it's almost like this little magic or spark. Kind of, I can liken it to when Mike Modano just first started playing with the Minnesota North Stars, to date myself. When he got on the ice, it was just like, that player's just better than everybody. And you could just see it. And I think with Celebrini, this contract or this year, you're going to forget the number. And once you get inside the coach's room, DJ, right now they signed it. It's all big news, and it'll matter when he takes the team out to dinner. Then the 18.8 matters. But once you close the doors in the locker room, dude, it doesn't matter anymore. He's our best player. We're going to feed him. The money doesn't matter anymore. He is part of this crew that's going to try to get us into the playoffs. So I think the enormity of all of these contracts are overwhelming right now. But once the puck drops in September, it's going to be just, okay, he's just another player. I don't want to diminish him, just another player. It's not what I meant. But we're over this talk of who's making what and all of that. Let's just go play.
Yeah, I mean, and if I am a Sharks fan, I'm a little upset that it's not for 8 years, because you still can't sign for 8 years until, I believe, September 15th. But Celebrini, to me, and I've been guilty of having a longer list for this than maybe I should, is a blank check guy. The negotiation goes, and this is how I felt it. I mean, obviously it goes this way with the McDavid, but this is also kind of how I felt it could go with Drysdale, which is like, here's how the negotiation goes. We say, what do you want? You answer, you sign we draft contract, you sign contract. And I might have had that with like Rantanen in Colorado, and maybe I didn't need to do that, but McKinnon's like that to me. I think that Makar is going to be like that. And maybe my list is too long, but if that list is only 2-3 guys in the league, I think that Celebrini is one of them.
I agree, but that goes back to, would Kaprizov be in that list? And for me, he wouldn't have been. But again, for Minnesota, they feel he is. And so I think it's all about the situation and where you're at. And the bigger question, you brought it up already, is now what? Now what? Where's Cale Makar? Where's Quinn Hughes? I know Robertson signs the 1-year deal. Where are we going to next? Fantilli's got to sign. Yeah, like the team, and I go back to a team that I know really well, is Arizona going to Utah. When you sign Logan Cooley through 30-31 and Dylan Guenther through 30-31, Gunther's at 7.1 and Cooley's at 10 million. And at the time, even when you sign Cooley, like, gosh, I'm not so sure. Dude, those contracts are going to be unbelievable in 2 years.
Yeah. Sean, give me, if you could, the highest paid players starting in the 2027-28 season. Macklin Celebrini at the top, making
26-27.
No, this would be the 2027-28 season. I sent you those numbers, so they are correct for the 2027-28 season, because this contract starts. Celebrini has one more year on his deal. So all good though. Celebrini, Carlsson, Kaprizov, Bedard, Drysdale is your top 5. That is not a list of the top 5 players in the NHL. Then Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Bowen Byram. And I think that a lot of people will flip out at the Bowen Byram thing, but, I'm going to try to practice some patience there. I do not think that the Bowen Byram contract is the worst one, that the Chicago Blackhawks have signed this offseason. So again, I'm giving Bowen Byram and the Blackhawks a little more grace than some might. But Petey, how different a world does this feel to you that you look at even the top four and it's Celebrini, Carlsson, Kaprizov, and Bedard? I think there's an argument for Macklin Celebrini being a top 5 player in the NHL, but that's the only guy in there. Kaprizov, I think there's an argument sometimes of being a top 5 player in the NHL. But right now, at least, and it doesn't always work out this way, like right now, the list of highest paid players does not equal the list of the best players.
Yeah, honestly, isn't that... I think that just shows the cycle of where we're at in the NHL, and it happens constantly. Like the highest paid guy when I first started was Keith Tkachuk. Great player. Was he the best player in the league at the time? No, but he made the most money of the entire NHL. And I think that's just when you're looking at ages and you look at how important young players are to this league right now. And I think this is the only league where you can get 19, 20, and 21-year-olds that really shift the needle. And the NHL didn't used to be like that. It wasn't. It took rookies had to go through the American League, and you might crack in on the third and fourth line. Dude, now they're the franchise players. And you're 20, 21 years old, and it's happening across the league. You have to, if you're trying to do what's right for your organization, you have to lock those guys up. And if you're going to do it, knowing the cap is going up so high, you got to pay them. And if I'm Connor McDavid looking around going, dude, what did I do? 12 and a half? Like, dude, I could get 20. But be careful what you wish for, because when you're making 20, it's going to be about you. It's not going to be about the rest of the crew, because you cannot win in hockey by yourself. NBA, if you're the best player in the NBA, you can really push your team into the playoffs. The NHL, you need more than that. You have to have a surrounding cast. And if you're paying somebody $18 million, you're going to have to pick up the slack somewhere else. And so I think that's the fear when you get to look at these contracts, especially when you're talking about Misa and Stenberg and Sam Dickinson and Will Smith all need to get signed for San Jose. Where is that bag of money going to come from to pay the third, fourth line, the second pair of D, your goaltender? Like, that's where the fear is. Do we have the superstars, or do we have the ability to win a cup? Because those are two very different things, i.e. see the Carolina Hurricanes roster.
Yeah, the Sharks have $34.7 million in cap space in the 2027-28 season, the first year of Celebrini's contract, which is crazy to me. But, I mean, it just goes to show how much the cap is going up. They will have Will Smith to sign there. In 2028-29, the second year of that deal, Will Smith will seemingly be signed, taking up a chunk of this, but they have $58.8 million in cap space. They'll also have to sign Dickinson there. And as you go down the list, like, they're going to have to sign Stenberg at some point. They're going to have to sign Misa at some point. Do you think they question or regret any of their spending on D this offseason? Because there's no way they could. I mean, when they signed Jacob Trouba, when they traded for Darnell Nurse, they did not know that Leo Carlsson was going to be making $18 million a year. But they did know that they had a blank check player that they were going to sign. So do you think that Mike Grier looks at this right now and kind of, I saw someone do the meme of forgetting Sarah Marshall, I wish I wasn't wearing this fucking Jacob Trouba contract. Do you think they have any buyer's remorse there?
I mean, I don't know what they're thinking in their room. I look at it on a piece of paper and go, good grief, we're tying up nearly 18, $19 million in two players over 30 years old that at different times in their career were very beneficial, contributors to their team. I am concerned because when you look at what they're doing up front, it's all about the youth. It's all about how young and how fast we can play. And then on the back end, you had Nurse and Trouba, who I don't know if too many people would say, yeah, that's going to pick up our pace from the back end. I don't know if these two guys are going to make us the fastest team in the NHL from the back end. That's the concern when you look at a team like Chicago, who's going the exact opposite. And we talked about Bo Byram, I get it, but you're talking about Vlasic, Levshinov, Kaiser, Rinzel, guys that are under 23. So their youth in the back end is trying to match their youth up front, where San Jose is going to have to, when they're ready to really push for a cup, you're going to have to rebuild that defense. And you got $19 million tied up in two guys that by then are probably going to be, if not your bottom pair, playing in your 4, 5, 6 hole. So there is a concern when we talk about having money to go around. Yeah, you got a lot of money tied up in two guys over 30 that aren't going to bring the pace of play that you really want to have in San Jose.
Okay, Sean, there's a comment that I just saw, and I'd like to hit it on. It's okay that Macklin Celebrini makes $18.8 million, but the problem would be for the Sharks if that becomes the benchmark for their future contracts because they have so many young guys. I would like to say, at least at this point, we can drop that and not think about that because the Sharks have a lot of good things going for them. What they do not have is anyone even close to as good as Macklin Celebrini. So anyone who's going to the negotiating table with Mike Grier, whoever that agent is, if they start to talk about Macklin Celebrini, Mike Grier, who's a good GM, is going to say, basketball book. Your guy has nothing to do with Macklin Celebrini other than that they wear the same sweater. And in a perfect world, Michael Misa will develop into a great first-line player or second-line player. Ivar Stenberg, same thing. Dickinson, you hope, can be a top defenseman for you. They've got all these really good Graf. They got all these really good players. There's one Macklin Celebrini in the league. And that's not to say that he's the best player in the league, but there is one 20-year-old perfect player who's probably still going to get even better defensively and even improve offensively, just like a Galaxy-type player. I think that if Shark fans are worried that this is going to make the prices of other Sharks go up, I would say that you're doing what a lot of fans do, which is maybe overrating your guys.
Yeah, and that brings up we talked about the Bo Byram contract. I think when you look at Bo Byram, you go, okay, is he the best defenseman in the NHL? Right now, we have to say no, he's not. So when the comparables are going to go, when you get Makar in there and you get these other contracts coming up, they're going to go, dude, that's Bo Byram money. You know what I'm worth? You're right with Celebrini. You can't go into the arbitration table and go, dude, look at my numbers and look at Celebrini's. Because guess what? They're going to be nowhere near Macklin Celebrini numbers. If anything, this is the releveling of where things should be. Like you're if you're not the best player in the league now, you could be top 3, definitely top 5. Okay, so now your contract represents that. I think that makes sense. Yeah, if I'm Grier, I'm going, this is a great comparable. Well, come on in. You got 59 points, you got 115. So that's just over half. Okay, that sounds like good. We'll sign you about $8.5-9 million. So I think you're right. I think this benchmark, if you truly have the best players in the league as those top 5 moneymakers, then you can start level the playing field. The problem is right now in 2026, 27, that's not the case. There are better players that are not in that top 5, but that will level out as we continue to see the cap grow. So Celebrini will be the best guy making the most money. So I think it's just going to be a matter of time as this cap continues to grow.
Someone in the chat says that Michael Misa will be their Leon Draisaitl. To that I say, wait until he is Leon Draisaitl before you sign that contract. Like, dude,
Yeah.
don't just, Sean, you look like your head is going to explode.
Pardon me? Like I was talking to Sharks fans, if we're being honest, overhype their players.
Of course.
They act.
We all do.
They act like Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini are Crosby and Malkin. One of those might be true. I think the second comparison there probably not even close. Michael Misa is Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl is a top 5 player in the National Hockey League. At times, the best player on his team with the best player in the history of the sport.
Yeah,
Michael Misa is a third liner right now.
but I'll say, like, I hope Michael Misa is fucking awesome. Like, well, yeah, like we're definitely not poo-pooing Michael Misa, but we are poo-pooing the leap of we've drafted these guys high, so other teams that have drafted guys high, like I mean, I'm a Edmonton Oilers fan. They've drafted a lot of guys high who did not work out. I feel really good about the Sharks' future, though, and I wonder if they're going to try to now, with this cap space that they still do have, if they're going to kind of do the rookie quarterback thing that teams do in the NFL, where they've got their quarterback on his first deal, so they've got a lot of space before they have to actually pay that guy. I wonder if, like, before the next big deals kick in for Misa or for Stenberg or whomever, that's where they feel comfortable, where they're like, yeah, we're going out and we are adding Darnell Nurse at $9.25 million with no money retained. You're shaking your head, Petey, but here's where I show my bias. I think that Darnell Nurse is going to be good for the Sharks. And I think that these Sharks, we've kind of done a check-in on the Sharks every week with like the are they good thing. I think the Sharks are good. What do you think about the Sharks going forward?
I do, and a couple of things. First, the Darnell Nurse in 26-27, I think you're going to see him get a little spike. You're going to see him doing like Jones did in Florida. I think you are going to see a player that's in a place that they want him there, that the media clearly and the fan base is clearly going to be less harsh on Darnell Nurse in San Jose than they were in Edmonton. So I believe he'll have a resurgence. I do. I don't think 26-27 is the concern for this contract. I think it's 28-29 and 29-30. But so that's another issue. Do I think this team is good? Do I think Trouba and his physicality helped the back end? Yeah, I think this gives them a look that they didn't have on the back end. I do worry about a team that's trying to play completely with pace, speed, and skill, adding those two players. Are they good? Yes, but everybody else in the West, like who are they going to supplant in the playoffs? Maybe LA is a team that's coming down. Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, they're still there. Utah, adding Anders Lee and Vinny Trocheck, they're better than they were a year ago. Anaheim, arguably they're still that young and upcoming team. And then we talked about Chicago, that's still on their way up, trying to fill pieces, getting Patrick Kane back in the lineup. So there's so many teams right now in the West sitting in their coach's room and management room going, hey, we got the team. We're better. We're going to be better. Well, somebody's not going to be better. And do I think San Jose is going the right direction? I do. I like their youth. I think this is a really, really good hockey team. But you got to look at the teams above you and go, okay, who are we better than? Look, they're better than St. Louis. They're better than Vancouver. They're better than Calgary. But then where? So everybody's thinking they're in the playoffs right now. Everybody's making a run to the cup right now because it's August. Like, just wait. Just wait when the puck drops, and then we're really going to see how these teams are. I think you're going to see a San Jose Shark team that's better than a year ago, but I think we still need to pump the brakes on some of these teams that are getting through their rebuilds.
Yeah, I need to look at if Sports Interaction has the like first coach fired thing, because a lot of my like the Sharks are good thing also puts Ryan Warsofsky high on my mental first coach to be fired list, because now there really are expectations. And I don't know if last year got people overexcited about the Sharks, but it's just so hard not to watch that team and how fun they were, and watching the problems that they gave really good teams, albeit in some track meets, and think like, yeah, they're going in the right direction. And then they get two good defensemen. I know that the Trouba contract is insane. I saw that The Athletic put out their worst contracts list, and I think there were 3 contracts on it that still haven't even started. It was the Leo Carlsson contract, the Jacob Trouba contract, and shout out my guy. I didn't like seeing Jake Wallman's contract on there, but whatever. Another story for another time. I get it was maybe irresponsible spending, but they want to get better, and I think that they are going to be better this year. But if they kind of suck for a little bit, I think that Ryan Warsofsky's seat gets very hot. Something that we talked about last week, Petey, was, is UFA coming back? Like, UFA is so dead right now because teams are signing their players before they get anywhere near unrestricted free agency. But the thing of second NHL contracts going max length and buying out 3-4 years of free agency, whatever it may be, are done. Like, you think back to guys that came out in like 2014, 2015, whatever, when their first contracts were up, when their entry-level contracts were expiring, they would sign 8-year extensions, and the first few yielded funny looks. Like, I remember we've talked about like when Drysdale signed his big second contract at 8 years, and at the time, like, big money. I think it was like $8.5 million, and everyone was like, what the hell? And within a couple of years, you're like, oh, I see what they were doing. They're now getting this player's best years, ultimately on the cheap. They took a risk, but it's going to pay off. But players of yesteryear, Drysdale, 8-year extension on his second contract. McDavid, 8 years on his second contract. Jack Eichel, 8 years on his second contract. He actually relocated during that. People forget. Nathan McKinnon goes 7 years on his second contract. Jack Hughes, 8 years on his second contract, but even that was a bit of an outlier because that was 2022, 23, something like that. In recent years, players have moved away from that. Cale Makar went 6 years on his second contract. Okay. Rasmus Dahlin goes with a bridge deal, 3 years. Quinn Hughes goes 6 years. Then Slavkovsky, also kind of the outlier, at the end of his entry-level deal, goes 8 years. But really, since 2017, I think players have more been positioning themselves to go shorter, to the point where now all the best players, or best young players, I should say, Bedard, Celebrini, Carlsson, they're all just kind of sprinting to unrestricted free agency. All three of those guys' deals, 5 years, only buy out 1 year of unrestricted free agency. So every time I see one of those contracts signed, I would kind of feel the way that I felt as an Oilers fan when McDavid signed for 2 years, where you're like, sweet, he's staying, but shit, should I be worried about this? Do you think, Petey, that this could bring about an eventual return to July 1 being exciting?
No. And I don't. And here's why. I think this is just a short-term solution waiting to see where the cap goes. I think there's so many agents and players going, where is this cap headed? We really don't know. So let's make sure we don't bind ourselves signing too far into the future. When you start to see where that cap's going to level out, you're going to go, dude, we got to get our money. And I don't want to be 35 looking for a new job. Right now, you're thinking, okay, these 5 years are great. I'm going to be 27. Things are going to be great. But at some point, you're going to go, gosh, we better make this as long as we possibly can. I think that day will come. I think you're going to see a 3-4 year period as this is shifting, that you're going to see guys signing these 5-year deals. But the bigger issue is, doesn't matter. Like Dylan Larkin right now, he signs the longer deal with a no trade, no move, all of those things. But dude, I want out. Brady, I want out. Like, I think that players have so much more power now, even when they are signed, that it shifts the dynamic of how long these contracts need to be. I don't believe long-term contracts are the way to go. I don't. As a team, if we signed Oliver Ekman-Larsson to an 8-year deal, we're like, dude, we knew it the second the ink was dry. Like, this is a bad contract. Like, this is going to be bad. But you have no choice. You're almost held to the standard of your fans and your fan base. Like, we have to sign him, but you don't want to sign him for 8 years. And ultimately that contract gets bought out, and now he's where he should be, getting paid what he should be. So I do think it just kind of, it's an up and down roller coaster of where this is going to go. I think you're going to see these 3, 4, 5-year deals for the next 3 years. And then I think we're going to go back to, hey, how long can we do? Kind of get a Rick DiPietro 15-year deal out of this? I think you're going to go back to that.
Yeah, and I mean, again, the September 15th is going to pass, so soon it's just going to be 7 years on the max anyway. But yeah, a lot of young players getting paid and positioning themselves to get paid quite a bit more often. We're going to get to Jamie Drysdale in just a minute, but first I got to tell you about the next era of Nation Gear. Nation Network has partnered with Levelwear to bring you a whole new standard of apparel, premium fabrics, elevated fits, and more variety than ever before. If you've ever worn Levelwear, you know the quality of some of this stuff. I still wear my black Oilers. It's very, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this during the read, but it's very Lulu feeling. I won't say the full name of that other brand, but it's a nice quality fabric. Introducing the limited edition off-season social club collection built for the sports between sports. From polos to premium tees to hats and hoodies, these are pieces designed for every part of your lifestyle, not just game day, because being a fan isn't just a season, it is, for better or worse, who you are. Head to nationgear.ca, follow Nation Gear on social, and subscribe to our newsletter to be the first to shop new products, limited edition collections, and exclusive drops. So much more to do on the show today. We're going to talk obsession with Petey. We're going to talk about where Kirill Marchenko is going to end up, and we're just going to generally go around the NHL. And I'm going to ask these boys about choosing Texas, because that is big in the news these days, and I have some thoughts / confusion there. But as promised, here is our conversation with Flyers defenseman Jamie Drysdale. Welcome to the show, Flyers defenseman Jamie Drysdale. Jamie, what's up, man?
Not much. We're just hanging out. All good.
Hell yeah. Have you seen The Odyssey?
Haven't. I really want to see it. I saw it's gotten crazy reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and all that fun stuff. So I have not wanted to see a movie in theaters for a while until this came out.
Are you not like a theater guy?
I no, I was gonna try and find a point to get there, but not really. I'm a big movie guy, big movie show guy, but no, not a big theater guy.
What was the last movie you saw in theaters, if you can remember?
I can't remember. It was probably a Marvel movie of some sort. Any Marvel
Okay.
movie I'll go see in theaters, but that's about it.
Damn. I mean, this is one you have to see in theaters. You know all the shit about like the IMAX versus
The
standard
IMAX
with
stuff,
this?
and yeah, I've seen behind the scenes of it, and it looks absolutely insane.
Dude, I've never seen a movie where there's been so much behind the scenes stuff that's come out afterwards and I've eaten it up. Usually I'm like, I want to pretend that it was all real and everything, but yeah, man, the Odyssey lore is fucking crazy.
I mean, outside of just the behind the scenes stuff, I've never seen a movie where there's so much discourse about like what screen you're seeing it on, because I've never seen a movie where they compare the shots on IMAX versus the standard definition. And this idiot saw it in standard def or the standard aspect ratio first and had to go back to see
Wow.
like the 40% of the movie that he missed.
I was so
You got to do it
pissed.
right the first time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, do it, man. It is unbelievable. What do you know about Greek mythology? We've been really brushing up on that since we saw it.
Absolutely nothing.
Dude.
I know like
In
a few
the
things,
Zeus.
but in terms of in depth, not my game.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a little bit of Zeus lore right now.
It's crazy.
His
All right.
dad, Kronos, I believe, heard through the grapevine there was a prophecy that his children were going to overthrow him. And he was like,
Well, this
I don't
is
fuck-
this like the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief thing? I feel like
Yes, I think so. Like I don't
Okay.
I don't have a lot of Percy
so
Jackson.
this is sounding a lot like that. So that's
Okay, so-
that aspect I know a little bit of.
So you're like a P-Jack's head.
No. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot, to be honest with you. Read the books. So
Oh!
Fuck yeah! So,
So
we
we
have like a fair. Our audience is young and like they call us Unc all the time. And we have no Percy Jackson knowledge. Apparently, Percy Jackson is super popular with like people of your age group and younger.
yeah, it's a nice, simple, entertaining watch, read, that kind of aspect, and yeah, I got no complaints. I like it. It's good entertainment and good watch from my end.
So this is, I think Sean described it to us as it's like Harry Potter for Greek mythology. Is that generally it? Or
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good comparable. I wish they came out with a few more movies, but yeah, I guess if you could compare abnormal things to abnormal things, then yeah, that would make sense.
now, this is embarrassing. Who is Percy Jackson? Is it the author or is it a character or what?
It's a character, I think.
Character. Yeah, it's character.
And is that just like a normal person who ends up in these kind of like big things? A la, I'm going to really date myself here. Wishbone. There was a TV show where there was a dog that would end up in all sorts of historical moments.
Not familiar with that one, but it's pretty much like he's like half human, half god.
Oh,
So he fits both worlds, and then you kind of go from there. A little bit of an outsider who turns hero vibes.
shit.
Yeah.
So that is to say you know about Zeus's dad then, right?
A few things, yeah. Like
That he was
I mean,
like
I'm not-
eating the kids?
Yeah, because they were gonna kill him. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
right?
And
Whatever,
yeah. So, yeah, he's eating the kids. He eats a rock accidentally. The kids make him throw up. They all come out and they're like, surprise, bitch. You just Pinocchio'd your ass. We're all still here. And fuck it, Zeus took over. And then Circe, I'm reading about Circe right now. You know about Circe?
I don't know, man. It seems like you're going in depth here. Holy cow!
Yeah, dude, we're really into it right now. Circe's dad fucks the animals. Anyway, what have
man.
you been doing this summer?
Not much. Just a couple vacations and then just training, skating here, and then going up north on a few weekends, golfing. Pretty standard hockey summer. I feel like you could draw that up.
I mean,
Kind of
getting
burying
millions
the lead.
of dollars.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of burying the lead. Signed a new
yeah.
deal. Congratulations. That's a
Thank
big
you.
deal.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, that was pretty exciting to get that done. Definitely happy to be back for 4 more years. Hopefully more to come after as well. So, no, it was nice to get that done and just focus on the season.
Can I ask, how long did it take you to settle into Philly? Because like the circumstances in which you arrived
Yeah.
were a bit weird and dramatic and messy, and
Yeah.
like to be the main piece coming back in a trade that involved a guy who basically made himself a supervillain. Like, what were those first few months like, and how long did it take you to kind of feel comfortable there?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty crazy, as well as kind of just the fact that played pretty banged up the better part of the first year there. So, yeah, definitely interesting. It was a pretty big trade, especially in Philly. Um, but no, I would say in terms of everyone making me feel comfortable, it was pretty almost immediately. The group was amazing in terms of myself, kind of just being comfortable in the game. I'd say this year was obviously the first year where I felt like I was able to truly like kind of do my thing.
Is that like a X amount of games? I know people used to say, I think it was the Denny Potvin thing about like, what was it, 200 games or something before a defenseman becomes really a defenseman or whatever. Like, you're 24 years old, but you have so much experience. I don't know if like breakout is apropos, but was last year kind of a okay, yeah, like I am a fucking established NHL defenseman who does this, and this kind of feeling.
Yeah, I feel like I had, in terms of how do I say this? I'd been around for a while, to be honest. Like even going into that year, and then like my first 2 years were pretty good, and then took a little injury hiatus, I guess you could call it, for the following 2. And it just kind of got to a point where, you kind of just say, screw it. Like, no one's going to kind of fix this but me. Like, sure, I was hurt for the better part of 2 years, but like the skills didn't go away. The ability didn't go away. It was just maybe a switch in the mindset, not fully believing. And then once you switch that, it's right back on track.
How much does it suck playing hurt when I'm sure like your mind's getting so sped up as a young player, even with your experience being like, this is where I want to be as a player, and these are the things that I want to show that I can do, and you are literally hampered.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It's brutal, to be honest. It was especially the one where I was playing through it for most of the time. Ended up getting surgery at the end of the season. That was brutal. The biggest part of my game is skating, and most days you could barely get out of bed. So you're limited. The training staff was awesome. Just keeping me in a position where I was able to at least get out there and kind of do what I could. But yeah, it sucks. Like, I'm sure everyone will have the same response. But no, been healthy all last year, and felt real good to get a full one under my belt.
I don't know how much you pay attention to media stuff, but I would imagine it's extremely hard when you're hurt and playing through something to like hear people criticize your play or be like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy, blah, blah, blah. And I would imagine personally, I'd be like, I'm fucking hurt. Leave me alone. How hard is it to kind of just like keep your composure and not have that sort of outburst to tell people with where you're at?
Yeah, I guess that's part of the gig, right? Everyone kind of says that. It sucks because you don't want to disclose anything. But I feel like there's guys on every team every year that play hurt. That's just the name of the game. You're not going to be fully healthy the whole year. It definitely sucks. Hence, kind of the reason why I don't go on social media at all anymore. So that's definitely helped. Wish I did that a few years earlier, but it's part of the gig. It is what it is. You just gotta kind of just take it for what it is. It's not going to be fun, but yeah, it's part of it.
This might be a dumb question, but we kind of specialize in those. How do you do the don't go on social media thing? Is it removing of apps? Or is it a flip phone thing? Because players say all the time, like, I avoid that stuff, but it has to be impossible to still not consume it in some way. So is there like a general way of doing it that players have?
No, kind of just take it off your phone, or just the mental strength to not go on it. I mean, there's mornings you wake up, the first thing you see is you're getting roasted or pooped on or whatever the heck it is, and you're just like, I don't necessarily want to start my day like that. So just just stay off it. It makes life easier, makes life better, and you can just focus on yourself, and everyone's happy when you're performing. So if that's something you got to do to help, then it's kind of it.
Well, I don't think this qualifies as you being roasted, but on Reddit a month ago, somebody posted a hockey card of you. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
They complained that Upper Deck did you real bad because it's a card of you, and I guess your jersey is maybe flapping in a kind of gritty forward motion. Go ahead.
Some of the cards are just the photos, at least some of the photos on the cards are just like, oof. Like, out of all the photos over however many years, this is the one you guys go with. I'm like, damn. Yeah, but I mean, hey, I can't complain. I'm on a hockey card. Younger me would be thrilled and surprised. So can't complain. Heck, but maybe we can pick some better photos.
You can complain. Yeah, there are better photos. That's why you can complain.
Yeah. It's definitely not my finest hour, and that's what's going out in a lot of numbers, and so it's all good though.
This is obviously not body shaming or anything. You are a world-class athlete, and we don't body shame anyway. But I did want to ask if, in the sake of like being a good teammate, any of you have considered showing up to camp out of shape so Tocchet can go easier on Michkov this year?
Oh, hey, you know what? He did a great job of, he was working his tail off to get back. And, I think everyone, at the end of the day, it's just everyone's responsibility to show up into camp. You got the summer to work out, train, and I expect everyone to come in flying at training camp, and it'll be a real exciting year for us.
Eventually, do you feel bad for a player? Like, I make that joke because it seemed like it was such a common refrain every time people were grilling him about Michkov or any talk or whatever, and like it felt like it was always brought up that like, like he kind of started behind a little bit and he's trying to catch up. Were there any moments where you were like, fuck, like I feel like this guy could maybe deserve a break at some point?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that's kind of part of the gig as well. You're under a microscope. Things get blown out of proportion all the time. And I think at the end of the day, all the guys in the locker room kind of know what's up, know the character behind everyone. And you just kind of got to be there for your teammates at the end of the day. No one wants to be in a position where, like across the board, it could literally be anything. Camp, trade, noise, anything. There's so much stuff out there all the time. And I think that's the one thing you have is each other in the locker room, and you kind of just push away everything, all the negativity outside of it.
I mean, on the whole, it seems like the locker room was awesome last year. The vibes were incredible. We kept calling it a different kind of energy just because, like, you guys look like you were having so much fun. I did want to ask, you and Zegras obviously have like a long-standing relationship, and like the bromance culture is strong between you guys. But like right now, you're not on social media, so you might miss it. But like the Celebrini and Will Smith stan culture is like out of control. It's wild. Do you and like Zegras ever sit around being like, we miss that, or we deserve a piece of that? Because those guys are the two most popular people in the world right now.
No, I mean, to be honest, I don't care too much about that, to be honest. I feel like anytime there's a young duo of any sort come up in the league, um, you kind of get that microscope and that attention. And for me personally, kind of I was just there. Z was the main character for the whole time, like who's kidding who. So I would just sit there, smile, and laugh at all the interesting remarks and stuff that he would do. So um, yeah, no, they're killing it. Both heck of a player. So yeah, they deserve the attention.
I think you're selling yourself short as a friend, though, because obviously when you were with Zegras, it was Drysdale and Zegras. And then when you got to Philly, I feel like there was a lot of like Drysdale and York. It seems like there's just always a kind of BFF thing going on with you. How many? And some people are just like that. Like I have like 4 friends total, but it seems like you have a lot of like actual best friends. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have friends. I think there's a lot of friendships that people don't see behind the scenes, like within a locker room. Like TK and Sandy are complete butt buddies. Tyson and Bobby Brink were the exact same. So, across the board, you isocam the Swedes when they're together. It's the same thing across the board. So, yeah, I mean, I've just been fortunate to play with a lot of really good dudes at the end of the day. So I consider myself lucky.
Is it true that Briere called you after he made the Zegras trade? You know this?
No.
Is it true that like after they made that trade, he called you to notify you of it because like usually you call the principals, but he called you and was like, hey,
check this shit out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did make a call. He called me. He's like, "Hey, you see what I just did?" And I was like, "Yeah,
awesome.
I am." He's like, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm freaking pumped." So, yeah, I knew we got a good one in Z. Heck of a guy, heck of a locker room guy, and obviously what he does on the ice speaks for itself. So, yeah, that was definitely funny. I was like, "Why is he calling me?" And then he told me that, and yeah, it was pretty electric.
You should have been like, I've also really struck up a conversation with Kirill Kaprizov and Connor McDavid, and we are really close, so get to work, boy.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, there's a lot of high caliber players around the league, and I think we got an underrated lineup as well. So I'm excited to go into this year and see what we can do.
And it's not like Briere is sitting on his hands either. What was the week like of the Leo Carlsson drama? Like, what was that like behind the scenes for you guys?
I feel like honestly, it was probably similar for us as it was for everyone else. I mean, we don't exactly have like insider information. We're just at home like everyone else. We found out like everyone else. Found out when it matched like everyone else.
I think I was probably the last person to see when it went down. I just got texted. My buddy texted into our group chat, just with my home friends, that the offer sheet was made, and then I also was at the gym when I found out that it got matched. So I was a few hours late on that. Yeah, crazy, definitely crazy. Wild seeing that, but I mean, hey, you like to see a big move like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, what does that do for the team? Because teams and players always react to what management does and doesn't do. And, a deadline will pass and a team doesn't make a swing. And sometimes players can feel a little dejected, or a general manager will make a move just to kind of say like, hey, I believe in you guys. For that, do you view it as like, this guy was going to give someone how much money? Or are you thinking like, my GM is a fucking killer?
Honestly, in the moment, you're like, holy crap. Like, that's the only thing that goes through your mind. But I mean, I feel like these days it's real tough to find a number one center. And, he took a swing. That shows big kahunas. So you got to respect it. And, I think they've done a great job, and I think we got a high caliber team, and yeah, would have been a nice addition. Obviously, no one's gonna argue that one, but again, we're excited for this year as the group we have.
I mean, 7 days to kind of like mull it over and think about it and marinate in it is a long time. How much of it was like, okay, we don't have this player yet, but I would be very excited if this player were to join us?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's always exciting. There's so many good players, really good players, high quality players around the league. And, you obviously want to upgrade your team as best as you can. I mean, you just haven't seen a situation like that around the league in a while. So it was exciting, but, maybe it'll open the floodgates on that aspect of it. You never know. So, we'll see what the rest of the offseason brings and moving forward.
What was it like being in the room for the Rick Tocchet "fuck everybody" speech last season?
You guys fucking held your own. Sorry about that. You know what? Everybody.
Electric. Yeah, he's great. He's totally one of the guys. Coach first when he needs to be, but it's always nice to have a good motivator, somebody who's been through it. Yeah, no, he was great. The first year, it was awesome. And I think we're only going to go off from there.
And then, I mean, a year prior, you were also on the team for when Torts said I'm not really interested in this kind of thing.
I'm not really interested in learning how to coach this type of season where we're at right now.
And I'm not asking you to slag Torts or anything, but what was that like as a player, being like, oh fuck, what are we doing here?
I mean, yeah, obviously not ideal. But yeah, I think everyone would take it a similar way. In saying that, I don't think us as a group were where we wanted to be in that moment. So it kind of sucked for everybody. He said what he said, and it's not ideal to hear. There's no secret there, but in saying that, I think everyone had higher expectations and we weren't where we wanted to be. So, yeah.
Was it a weird experience seeing him enter into the league with the Knights, like with a week left in the season, and end up in the Stanley Cup final?
Yeah, I think that honestly, the name of the game these days is crazy shit happens. It's been happening, and I assume it's going to continue to happen more and more moving forward. I mean, that's a nice gig. I mean, you go in, Vegas, heck of a team. I mean, stereotypically say built for the playoffs. Their back end's great. Great forward group, great additions they made. So, it was impressive to see them come out of the West.
Are you still playing guitar?
No, gave up on it. Way too hard. Completely. I was so dialed in. I did lessons weekly for 5 months, and then even after that, and I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't get a handle of it. So, salty about that one still, but we'll find something new.
I mean, weekly for 5 months is like that's a commitment, man.
You'd think that you would be somewhere, and I was like, I wasn't. So
you weren't anywhere? Like, how far did you get?
I couldn't do anything on my own. Like, I couldn't piece together anything that sounded half decent. So I was like, 5 months, cash down the drain. I was like, I'm out.
So guitar is hard to be. I always say, like, piano is very easy to be bad at. Like, if you take a couple of piano lessons, and you sit down at a piano, people would be like, oh, that guy plays piano. It kind of sucks, but whatever. It takes a while to even be bad at guitar. And I think that maybe it's like learning something as an adult is harder kind of thing.
Maybe. I mean, it was pretty brutal, to be honest. I just don't think my hands, fingers, like the coordination, but which is weird because I consider myself a pretty coordinated guy. There's something different. I think guys that can play the guitar, I just wanted to be like capable of playing around a campfire or something, just strumming along, whatever, just keeping it casual. And so it definitely makes you have a lot more respect for guys that can do that.
So what were you trying to work on? You were just trying to learn kind of like cowboy chords
pretty much. I just, I don't know, was not operating well. Didn't sound very good.
Have you pivoted to another task or another hobby?
Not really, to be honest, because that was when I had surgery on my shoulder, so I was out for the whole year. So I had time, and wasn't really doing anything else. I think it's tough in season to kind of get things going from that aspect, and then off season it's more golf and training, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned
he was like, I learned to play the harp.
yeah, fuck the guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned earlier you read Percy Jackson. Are you a big reader or no?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
This is a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I've started to pick up a book now, but this happens every few months where I'm like, I'm going to start reading, and then I get 12 pages into a book, and then I shut her down.
Can I ask you a question that I've been meaning to ask a player for a while now? How have all the players not watched Heated Rivalry? Like, I feel like I never hear players talk about it where I'm like, dude, it's a fucking hockey thing and it rocks. Like, everybody likes it for a reason.
Yeah, well, honestly, from my experience, my girlfriend watched it and pretty much filled me in on every single episode. So I feel like I've watched everything. And then she had me watch Off Campus as well, the new hockey show. So, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I know on our team that was a similar story across the board in terms of just kind of hearing back from it. But, I mean, it's pretty awesome to see hockey shows coming out and being this successful. I mean, it's great for the game, and I think it brings a lot more attention, and pretty awesome to see.
So you heard about, I definitely understand the, like, no one would shut the fuck up about that show, so I felt like I already, we're very guilty of that. I would tell my girlfriend about it, and she was like, I fucking watched it with you, man. Like, I've already seen this show. So you heard about that, and then the one you actually watched was Off Campus?
Yeah, what'd you think of Off Campus? I watched like a couple episodes, and I feel like it just wasn't for me, but Heated Rivalry was like, I would call it a legitimately awesome show.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind Off Campus. I thought it was pretty entertaining. It was one of those. I was like, no way, I'm watching it. No way, I'm watching it. And then I sat on the couch. I was like, all right, let's do it. But no, I think again, it's pretty cool to see hockey shows be successful. To be honest, I mean, you never saw that anywhere. So I think this past year, and especially the people that were in them, I don't even know, like kind of the fame they got from it and the notice, and it's really cool to see as well. So, I'm sure there'll be a lot more coming out, hopefully, and go from there.
I mean, I'm a Bruins fan. I'm pretty sure the Bruins have posted about the character from Off Campus more than they've tweeted about any of their own actual players this offseason. It's crazy.
They know their audience. It's what's hot right now.
Has your girlfriend brought you into like anything else pop culture wise? Because like we talked with Warren Fogle about like Bravo, and my wife's like a huge Bravo head. And this year with like all the Summer House drama, I've been fucking locked in. And so I'm just curious if there's anything else that your girlfriend has kind of brought you in on.
You know what? No, honestly, not much. We're big like nature, planet, stuff like that. Just easy watches. At the end of the night, fall asleep to things like that. Other than that, not much. Those two were kind of the big ones, and then I'm sure there'll be something new coming up. I'm usually out of the loop on certain things, so that's kind of my social media aspect right there. Is the girlfriend.
Did you watch the dinosaur thing on Netflix that Morgan Freeman did?
I watched the first 2 episodes. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. It's like, and I don't know if because obviously it's not real. Those aren't real dinosaurs.
What?
But I'm watching it and I'm like, that's a fucking real dinosaur, brother. That is
real to me.
Yeah. It's fucking sick. They, man, there's like a scene, I think it's in like the first episode, but they're showing how like one dinosaur tries to like flirt with the other dinosaur. And it's like, like a dude dinosaur goes up to a woman dinosaur and is like doing all these like tricks, trying to be like, check out all this shit I got.
He's dancing, trying to mate.
Yeah. And then you see coming and you're like, oh, damn, huge ass dinosaur coming behind that one.
Yeah.
And it just gets absolutely devoured in front of the girl that it's trying to hit on.
So humiliating.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Worst way to die.
Yeah, legit. Good imagination there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, dude, I could talk Greek mythology and fake dinosaurs with you all day. We really appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, of course. Good times.
All right. Thank you to Jamie Drysdale for joining us. That was a lot of fun. He's amazing. Everybody, he's okay. Okay? Some of the chat got a little crazy. Okay? He's okay. He's okay. We love him. He's okay.
A lot of printer talk. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Because when we recorded the interview, you don't see necessarily his full screen thing. So we didn't realize he had a massive HP printer behind him. Very weird. Why do you have that, Jamie Drysdale?
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I love that I learned so much from him about Percy Jackson. You know, the goals of these interviews is to have conversations and learn things that you didn't know before. I definitely learned a lot from him that we did not previously know. So shout out Jamie Drysdale. Shout out to the Flyers for making it happen. Love them. Can't wait to have more Flyers on the show. Yeah, I didn't know anything about the printer thing, though. That's the big miss. That's my big regret that we didn't talk
apparently
printers.
that was like a thing prior to this interview. Like he'd done other interviews where people noticed that there was a giant HP printer in the background, and now it's just like Jamie Drysdale's printer is a thing.
Well,
And
far
we
be it
completely
from
missed that in the
people
moment.
to watch Jamie Drysdale interviews and read too far into things based on the last 10 minutes of watching the chat during that. But I reiterate, he's okay. And he's a great player. How you feel about your Flyers, Petey, this season? Because there have been, I couldn't find them, but I was told there are Matvei Michkov workout videos, which is typically a thing that happens when you get shit for not being in the shape you're going to be on. I'm buying all the Matvei Michkov stocks. I have enough of them already. It would be dumb of me to unload them. Bounce back season loading.
I hope so for his sake and for my sake as well. And I know this is all about me. Well, I did a couple of shows and talked a little bit because of my relationship with Rick Tocchet. So I had the opportunity to talk to some fans in Philadelphia about young Matvei Michkov, and it did not go exceptionally well because I had thoughts and their thoughts were much, much different than mine. So along with you, I'm hoping for a bounce back season for him. He's a player that's got some skills in his toolbox, certainly. There are some things that he is lacking. However, he is a kid. He is young. He will find his way like a lot of players that come out of North America, come to this country to play. Kucherov, Pasternak, they all had similar seasons to what Michkov did over his first two. He's a good player. That's all I'll say for Philly fans. We will talk about him and his ice time at another time. But I will say this, stop yapping about his ice time if they're in the second round of the playoffs. Like, dude, if they're in the Eastern Conference Finals and the kid is sitting in the press box, that is okay.
I hate to yap about his ice time, but if they're in the Eastern Conference Finals and he's sitting in the press box and I'm a Flyers fan, I would kind of freak out. I would. Yeah. I just think that given, I mean, the Athletic came out with their list of best center duos in the league, and obviously the Flyers were low on there. It's why they tried to sign. It's why they tried to sign Leo Carlsson, or it's why they did sign Leo Carlsson, I should say. Yeah, like when you don't have amazing centers, you sometimes need your wings to be the faces of your franchise. And I think that he still right now is probably their best bet of having a franchise player. So I get it. I get the freaking out about it. But yeah, I suppose they could maybe cool it a little bit. Let's go around the NHL with Steve Peters, shall we? Kirill Marchenko. report out of Russia that Marchenko could be traded to one of two teams, one of which is the Canadiens. That I think we can say has been handily refuted, but I do think it makes sense that if Marchenko does get traded, that the Canadiens would be a team that would be jumping up and down and say, oh my God, trade me that player. But Marchenko is a 26-year-old right wing who has scored 20 or more goals in each of his 4 NHL seasons, including 27 last year and 31 goals the season before. So realistically, with him having a sub $4 million cap hit before he becomes a restricted free agent, there is not a team in the league who should not freak out trying to get Kirill Marchenko if he becomes available. What do you make of the Kirill Marchenko situation? Because ultimately, I think the best fit for him, and I'm biased, is for him to try to find a way for it to work out with the Blue Jackets, because I'm so sick of them, and I know they're so sick of having to hit the 1, 2, 3 year reset button.
It's hard, and I think if you're a Columbus Blue Jacket fan, management, coach, employee, it's like, dude, what the hell's wrong with Columbus, Ohio? The home of the Ohio State. Like, it's a nice city. Like, why is everybody leaving? And specifically, why the hell do all the Russians want to leave? Why does Panarin, Bobrovsky, Chinikov, what the hell is it? Like, did they need to get better Russian relations in Columbus, Ohio? Because this is a player they can't afford to lose right now. He's led the team in scoring over the last 3 years. You need somebody to be able to finish for Adam Fantilli and to get Adam Fantilli the puck. Well, that's Kirill Marchenko. And I really like the player. I don't like this trend of, dude, I don't want to play here anymore. Like that to me, the spike of that happening, especially with players that have had success with the teams that they're on. And this is the team that's window is slightly open right now. I know they're going to re-sign Fantilli. They got Valerie Nichushkin in there. I know they've got some smaller pieces. The guy they have signed, like Connor Garland, is there for a while. Monahan's there for a while. Coyle's there for a while. I know those guys are older, but this is a team that you look at under Rick Bowness and you go, gosh, Jet Graves is signed. This team might not be bad. Werenski's still the man. Like, why wouldn't I want to stay here? So I do get concerned of all of these people that want to leave. So when you see he's the guy, just like J.J. Paterka for Sean DePaz's Buffalo Sabres last year, 20 goal scorer 2 seasons in a row. Hey, he's going to bring this scoring spark to Utah. I want to get out of Buffalo, not the scene for me. And he lays an egg. So be careful if you put all in for Marchenko, expecting to get the Marchenko you had in Columbus, and he doesn't pan out. So I hope he stays in Columbus. If I'm Waddell right now, this is where you're signed. This is where your contract is. We're going to start here. September 29th, season starts. You're a Columbus Blue Jacket, and you better be buying in because we need you. And if you want to get traded, then you better play really, really good. So you better start putting up numbers in October and November so we can trade you by the deadline. That only benefits the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're going to be able to trade him because he has a higher value. And then it's on Marchenko. You don't put up numbers, dude, you're not going anywhere because nobody's going to want you. So I think he starts the season there. I really do. I think he stays in Columbus at least for puck drop, and then we see how the season goes for Columbus.
Yeah, and given that he is an RFA at the end of this deal, yeah, like I love Kirill Marchenko, and I don't know how badly he wants out or anything, but I'm like, no, dude. And especially when Blue Jackets don't have cap space. Blue Jackets have been, shall we say, not great with some of their recent signings. Obviously, the Charlie Coyle one seems like an albatross out of the gate. So I heard this mentioned on, I think, Merrick's podcast. If they trade Kirill Marchenko and they're trying to get like real good NHL players back, they don't even have cap space to fit a bunch of real good NHL players. So their move, I think, should be to hold on to him. And yeah, if at season's end he's an RFA, he's still going to have massive trade value for whoever's going to trade for him and then sign him. So I'm using this season, if I'm the Blue Jackets, to be like, look, Bonus is back. We'll see what he can do. And we've tinkered with the roster a little bit. Let's try to use this season to talk some guys into staying long-term, including Zach Werenski. 37-year-old Patrick Kane late last week signed a 2 times $8 million career contract to seemingly finish his career with the Blackhawks. This is a player who was projected to get 1 year times $3.2 million. Instead, it's 2 times $8 million. How do we feel about Patrick Kane going home, but I'll start with you, Sean, at a not quite I'm going home number.
I mean,
This
If
seems
he
like
wasn't-
a cash grab.
most certainly. Which usually when he's grabbing for cash in Buffalo, taxi drivers are involved. But he I would have loved for him to be a Buffalo Sabre. Like, it would have been awesome. He is like, it's Buffalo hockey right there. Like, he's done something multiple times that the Buffalo Sabres haven't been able to do, which is physically bring a Stanley Cup to the city of Buffalo. So I will always love him as a hockey player. Have fun in Chicago. If it was 1 year times 8, I would have been like, absolutely. And they're not spending this money, it seems like, anyways. Have fun in Chicago, though. That's if it was going to go somewhere else, Chicago was the one place I'd be able to tolerate. And I don't know, like, I still don't know what the fuck the Blackhawks are. Like, so, like, I don't know that they're going to be good. Make it interesting, at least. Pay Bo Byram $500 million and throw him out with Pat Kane while you're waiting for Bedard to come back. Like, you still got Spencer Knight. Like, I don't know. Fucking, it's the Chicago Blackhawks.
I mean,
Be interesting, I guess.
I will repeat, the Byram contract is no longer the craziest contract they signed this offseason. Like, you want to say we think we've found our number one defenseman and we're paying him big money because we think he's a number one defenseman? I can wrap my head around that. The Kane thing is a lot more simply, we have cap space and it's going to take a ton of money to sign this player, so we're just overpaying him. And it shouldn't have taken a lot of money to sign the player, because if his options were Buffalo or Chicago, Buffalo's got $5.1 million in cap space, so they couldn't come near $8 million. So to me, that says he was going to Buffalo unless he got massively overpaid by the Blackhawks, which is what happened, Petey.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said before. It's what is that price? And when you say Bo Byram, what's the price for a guy that you think can be a number one NHL defenseman for your team? Is that a 4th pick overall and a lot of money? Well, yeah, it was. And so in this case, is Patrick Kane worth $8 million in the 26-27 season? I mean, no, I don't think that he is. I don't think that that value is what you're going to see for what he produces. However, it's the price Chicago had to play to get somebody to play with Bedard once he gets healthy, to get him the puck on the power play, to get him the puck when he's going up ice through the neutral zone. You've got Bo Byram and Patrick Kane. If you don't think this power play is going to go from 29th and move up into the top half of the league, I would be incredibly surprised. This power play is so much better now. You got Frank Nazar in the middle. You're still going to throw Bertuzzi down low in front of the net to cause chaos, but you got those 3 guys up top that are going to be outstanding. So yes, you will get more points. Your power play percentage will go up. Your offense will go up. Will you make the playoffs? No. The same reason I said before with San Jose. Like, there's teams you have to be better than. And who is that? Who are you taking out of a spot that was in the playoffs last year that Chicago Blackhawks are going to be better than? So I don't think Kane moves the needle enough to get this team into the 90s in points. 80s, yes. Another 10-point jump for Chicago? Yes. I think this is a good thing for Chicago. I think it's fun for the fans to have Patrick Kane do his celebration tour. I think that's wonderful. He's a first-line player in Chicago. He's not a first-line player in Buffalo. He might not be a second-line player in Buffalo. He wasn't a first-line player in Detroit. Where does he get more ice time? Where does he get the chance to play with an NHL superstar? Chicago. Like, it really comes down to, this is the only place where he can play the role that he wants to play in. And I think it's a good signing for Chicago in that they have the cap space. It'll put butts in seats. And most importantly, every single move the Chicago Blackhawks make is to make Connor Bedard happy, just like they do in Edmonton with Connor McDavid. You got to make Bedard happy. He's got a puck-moving defenseman that get the puck to him anywhere on the ice, and you've got a guy that can feed him on the power play through that seam to the top of the left circle. You are going to make Bedard happy. Bedard's going to have more points. Unfortunately, that 5-6 week layoff to start the season, not ideal. But you're going to see him happy and him making that next step and getting a Chicago Blackhawk closer to the playoffs over the next 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, if Frondell can be a stud and if Donato can look like what he was a couple years ago, they got a decent little offense going there. You know, it's not unbelievable, but they've got a decent little offense. And then from there, it's is Byram going to be what he was last year with the Sabres? And can you extrapolate that into?
I was going to say they better hope not. They better hope he's a lot fucking more.
Well, that's
but
what
I
I'm
get
saying.
where you're
Like,
going. Yeah.
Like if you could say like what he was as a second pairing guy, if he can be this as the number one defenseman, and then like I got no questions about Alex Vlasic. I think that Alex Vlasic is a really, really solid defenseman. But what's Wyatt Kaiser? What's Levshinov? Is this like kind of last chance territory for Korchinski? Is Korchinski even in the mix? They signed Ian Cole. He's going to be part of this. Like a lot of what ifs and a lot of guys that you look at and you're like, yeah, okay, that guy's fine. I guess they're going to be better than last year, but they've just been bad for a long time, and I think they're sick of it. So they're trying. At the very least. Anything else in the around the NHL thing we should include here, Petey? What jumps out at you this offseason?
Well, I know we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but it's all the stuff in the coaching room and all of these shifts in what's happening. You talked about Warsofsky and a guy trying to get a team through a rebuild. I thought that's what Andre Tourigny went through last year with Utah, that you go, okay, they're getting ready to make a playoffs. Don't be surprised if Andre Tourigny is on the hot seat. Well, he gets him into the playoffs. I think Warsofsky's in the same boat, like you mentioned earlier. They're going to have a good start. I don't know if he'll be the coach behind that bench when they finally start making a push for the playoffs. But it's the other coaches in the two biggest markets in Canada that I'm most curious to see how they perform. We talked about Tortorella leaving Vegas unceremoniously, but now you got Babcock and you got Hiller in the two biggest hockey markets right now in Canada. And I can't wait to see how both of those things unfold. You look at Hiller, who took a lot of questions on how he coached in LA, especially in the playoffs. And there were some questions about how he managed the ice time of his players and his infamous coaching challenge. So can he take a team that has unlimited amount of money and players and facilities and all of those things? Can he be the guy that so many coaches couldn't get them over the top? He's the guy. And then Mike Babcock, my goodness, I cannot wait to watch this gong show unfold. I like, we've talked about this before, and I hope you have me on in December and January when this tower starts to fall, because that's when it's going to happen. I think it's a disaster, and I cannot wait to stand by and watch this. So I think these two markets with the coaching changes, I cannot wait to watch as this season starts in September.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a first good month for the Oilers, even though their schedule is kind of tough. I think they will have this kind of like, we're serious now bump.
Yep.
And then I don't know what happens.
They're first
after
place.
that.
End of October, Edmonton Oilers are in first place in the West. How about that for a hot take?
Do you like what they did roster-wise? I think that they might not actually have a right shot center on the roster, right? Like, I'm going through it now. McDavid, Drysdale, Dickinson, I think, is a left shot. And yeah, I think they don't have a right shot center. Is that a huge problem these days?
No, it isn't, for one. But I think the same issues that we've talked about with Edmonton every single season are what we're talking about Edmonton now. We know that McDavid and Drysdale are going to be okay. They're going to be a 1-2 punch, and when you really need help, you're going to throw them both out there together. I can tell you right now that's the answer to all of their coaching woes over the last decade, and that will be what happens this season. We're in trouble. Well, let's put 97 and 29 on the ice. The issue with this team is always their bottom six, and can Jason Dickinson have the season that they're hoping he can have? But you're still looking at a fourth line with Trent Frederick, who is the savior in Edmonton potentially. We will see, but that's still a problem. The bottom six, and their defending, is it good enough with a Connor Murphy, who I love? Connor Murphy, I really do, but is he able to play with the pace they need him to? Makhamudalin is going to have to be a guy that can finally, maybe he becomes that young guy that can replace some of the young talent they're having. Evan Bouchard's have to have a great year, and then we're back to the goaltending again. And now I know Frederick Anderson there, and he won a cup. But guess what? The Edmonton Oilers team defensive structure is not the Carolina Hurricanes defensive structure. Freddie Anderson is going to see more pucks. He's going to see more pucks from high danger areas, and he's going to see more secondary and rebound chances than he has. And we saw what Tristan Jarry was. So here, Edmonton's the same team. Really, really good, two players best in the world, and then we're not sure. So I don't anticipate this Edmonton Oilers team getting over the hump this year. I don't think this is a team that's in the Western Finals. I don't know if this is a team that's going to make it to the second round. I think you're going to see the grumblings in the locker room starting by January, that the guys on the bottom that are getting pushed and beaten up a little bit too much go, hey, dude, enough. So I'm curious to see how this derails, but I think it will.
I still can't believe they hired Mike Babcock, but I am
real quick. I feel the coaching thing keeps getting brought up, and I feel like people keep forgetting that Peter Laviolette was hired to be the head coach of the LA Kings.
Yep.
But yeah, why did that happen? No one ever brings that up anymore. Like, obviously Babcock steals a lot of the why did you hire that guy attention, but like.
Yeah, but Sean, Laviolette's been in the league over the last 7 years at least, right? Like,
I know he's definitely not
relevant.
Babcock, yeah.
And he does have that reputation of being a little bit of a tougher, push your buttons coach. However, you go back and look at his first 2 seasons at every place where he has started, and he's had success. And the LA Kings are going through a big transition without Kopitar. That Byfield's got to be the guy now. I like the hire of Laviolette there in LA right now. I think he's a really good coach. I just think he's a short-term solution, but that's what LA needs right now. I think they do need to push some buttons there. I don't think he's Mike Babcock at all. I think he is a different demeanor in what he brings to the locker room. I think it's a good hire. I think LA is still one of those teams that we talked about with San Jose and Chicago making the playoffs. I think LA is a team that's teetering. I think they're a team that's going to have a lot to prove, because I'm not sure they can survive the post-Kopitar era for the first few years. So I don't mind that hire, and I don't think it brings up as many red flags as what you're seeing in Edmonton.
Okay, Petey, you saw Obsession, and Sean still has not seen Obsession. I've seen it a couple of times. Great picture from Curry Barker. What did you think?
First of all, as we've already clarified, I don't leave the couch to watch movies. Dude, it better be on streaming service or I ain't watching it. That's just the way it is. When you get in your 50s, you will understand. This movie, to me, inspired me enough to go, gosh, you know what? If I grabbed a couple of microphones in my iPhone, this dude he's 26. Like, he made a movie with 4 main characters. That's it. Maybe 2 or 3 sets. And man, I could probably go do this. I like, if I could get off my lazy butt and go try to do something, I think I can make a movie. And I think that's what this did. You took all those hundreds of millions of dollars, multi-blockbuster movies, you whittled it down to some incredible acting, some really good writing. And I'm not kidding. I love the horror movie genre. I've seen movies that people could probably struggle to get through. I love a horror movie that makes sense and has a not plausible. Like, clearly this is not real life, but you go, okay, I get it. This makes sense. I absolutely loved it. And the performances, if you want to see some great acting from people you've never heard of, man, Indy's for real. Like, if you watch it just for her performance alone, you should go watch this movie.
Yeah, I saw Bill Simmons say the other day that he's calling that Indy Navarrete wins Best Actress, and I was like, that kind of blew my mind. But I'm like, I don't think it's far-fetched that she gets nominated. The non-kind of traditional Best Actor, Best Actress, or even Best Picture nominee is entering the picture more. Like, where you like Amy Madigan, I saw in that same conversation, they mentioned all of the love that Honora got, and I love Sean Baker, but I did not. I think that Honora was maybe a little overrated. But the performance from Indy Navarrete, like, obviously has made her an enormous star, but not just her. Michael Johnston, I believe, is the guy who plays Bear. Really, really good. But what Indy Navarrete was able to do basically as 2 characters, for someone as I like 2 had never heard of her before, she was outstanding. And that movie would have been pretty dime a dozen Blumhouse feeling if it didn't have the performance that Indy Navarrete gave it. Sean, I know that you watch baseball games with Indy Navarrete. You were both at the same Mets game.
Wow.
Sox game. Yeah.
Sorry. I can't believe you haven't seen it yet, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it with PD prior to the thing. I don't mind horror movies at all, but there's certainly, like, I generally have no desire to make myself feel negative emotions, fear, sadness, anything. So whenever a movie is like overly scary or sad, I'm like, it's not like I won't watch it, but it's like, why am I go watch The Odyssey again? Why am I gonna go sit down and watch a horror movie? I looked it up, by the way. According to, I don't know the amount of the credibility they have, but awardswatch.com.
I look at that.
Currently, well, first off, Eddie Neveretti, they have his 9th in the running for Best Actress, so she's not really close. But the leader is
9?
Julianne Moore.
What? 9?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. From the debut. Yeah, I thought you knew that. That's why I thought you read 9.
No, because you said that she was 9.
Oh no, but Julianne Moore is currently the leading in the lead for the running for Best Actress. Of course, Matt Damon is in the lead for Best Actor.
Last time Julianne Moore won Best Actress was for Still Alice. Greg Turkington voice. Still Alice, great picture. So they have her 9th.
I'm going to make another bold statement here because this is how important I think this role was for her, and the writing obviously made it so. But Jenna Ortega was also up for this role. It's not the same movie with Jenna Ortega because then people are watching it and seeing Jenna Ortega.
I didn't know that.
So. Yeah, and you're seeing someone that has success with the horror genre, but then you're seeing Jenna Ortega movie. And I think it was so important to see someone you didn't know so you could buy into the character. And I'm not giving any spoilers away because I don't think that that's fair, because I do think people should watch it literally for the performances and the actual, there's no CGI on some of those effects. I mean, dude, they had to make this stuff real because of their budget. I think this is the best acting performance I've ever seen in a movie was Heath Ledger, and I still put up The Dark Knight against anything with his performance of encapsulating an actual character. I thought he was phenomenal. This is right there. This is I like, it is that good where you believe the character, you believe that she's two characters. It's phenomenal. And if you don't like scary movies, just here's what you do. You watch it in sections and you watch it during the daylight. Watch it during the day on a Saturday afternoon, and if you watch 10 minutes at a time or a scene at a time and then walk away, but you need to see this movie. And the other thing it does is it brings you down that black hole for what the internet was really about. And I don't.
Oh no. He was cooking too.
He was. Did someone
Cooking
made a wish to
on the
free
pictures.
Petey's.
If anyone hasn't used their One Wish Willow yet, if you could please smash. Does this inspire you though, Sean, to finally watch this movie? It's on Peacock.
Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it. I like most of my Peacock time as of late has been spent on season 6 of Love Island. First Love Island experience. Finished that last night. Incredibly messy. But I mean, like, yeah, I want to watch The Odyssey at some point. The Odyssey. I do want to watch The Odyssey again. But I do. Yeah, I'll watch it eventually. It's just not necessarily like a thing. I never go out of my way to watch horror movies, except Weapons, I guess, because I was A-listed down at that point.
Weapons was so good. That's still probably my favorite horror movie of this little stretch of,
which is why I'm really excited for Other Mother or Other Mommy. The fact that they didn't call it Other Mother pisses me off.
Yes, it's like
Other Mommy.
Yeah. Do you know the song "Moving Out" by Billy Joel?
Yes.
You know he does the "Working Too Hard Can Give You a Heart Attack." Trading in his Chevy for a Cadillac. Then it does it in the third time. He says, "You should never argue with a crazy mind when maniac fits." And it's like, is it because it was just so obvious that you're just trying to zag? Like, I look at Other Mommy and I'm like, there had to have been a conversation about, obviously we call this Other Mother.
Yeah, I don't know. But the reason I brought that up is because I know that the people that produced, I believe, Weapons are also involved in Other Mommy. Jesus.
Okay.
It's gonna piss me off forever.
Let me see. I just Googled Other Mother. That's why I can't find it. Other Mommy. Is it Zach Kreger? No, it's
I don't remember.
Directed
I just remember
by
seeing
Rob
from the
Savage. Oh, well, it's produced by James Wan. So James Wan famously created the Saw franchise, and I think that mainly now he's like a big producer of horror movies. But he, James Wan was one of the guys who wrote, or he directed. I'm sorry, Saw, the original one, like. The one that everyone agrees is good.
Yeah.
And then the ones after
Still
that.
haven't seen a single Saw movie.
You still haven't. You haven't. Oh.
That's one that I genuinely have no desire to like. Like Obsession. Like I want to see eventually. I have no desire to watch Saw movies.
Very violent. Yes, in chat says
way,
Zach Kreger is doing Resident Evil, which I never did any of those games when I was a kid.
I've heard a lot about it.
All in.
Petey's computer died, so he's working on coming back, but his computer had died.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we can hit. I'm gonna once Petey comes back, we'll do the choosing Texas controversy, which should go over very well. In the meantime, let's talk about the PLL controversy. And there's no controversy. It's just that Brian Costabile absolutely destroyed a player's life. Okay. We talked about the like what you can say to players after you like own them, basically, or after you just absolutely smoke them. And I think that there's like different criteria for different situations. This was a player grown manned another player and then did this.
Woo! Little boy!
Little boy! Oh, Costabile. Some smack talking.
It's not that he was like little boy. Little boy.
My favorite thing about the PLL is the fact that I don't know if all the players are mic'd up or if they just have really good mics on the field, but like anytime a goal is scored, like you hear their celebrations instantly, and obviously he's mic'd up in this situation. Like I can only imagine if we got more like live shit in the NHL of players reacting, because like they know that they're on mic, so they're probably keeping it somewhat PG-13 maybe, but like I love the kind of insight that we get into like what we hear from the players and stuff like that when stuff goes down.
And this is different, I should clarify, because then like the Cade Cavalli, is that guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
The pitcher who struck out a player of color and then yelled, "Sit down, boy." Little boy to little boy different than boy, I would say. Yes?
Big time. Yeah, and it's also like you just son somebody.
And it was clearly
little boy
like
has it's like too small.
Yeah, like I just used my strength was just clearly greater than yours. You are but a little boy. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Do you like fake an injury there if you're the guy that got little boyed, or does that make it even worse?
I think that makes it a little even worse because now you're a frail little boy. You just you got pushed to the ground. Now you can't get up. Like you just gotta eat that, unfortunately.
And it gives Costabile more ammunition too. He could be like, "Little boy, go to the nurse."
Yeah, go see the nurse. Mom, you gonna go kiss your boo boo?
Little boy, call home, get picked up. You get picked up from the game, little boy. And then also, this is very cool from PLL. They're basically doing a 4 nations to get ready for the Olympics. It's called Lexus Global Lacrosse Games. 4 men's teams, 4 women's teams, rostered by the best players in the world, representing, stop me if you've heard this before, 4 nations.
I am interested in what the nations are going to be, though, because I know that a big thing in lacrosse is a push to have some of like the native communities represent themselves as kind of like their own nation. I believe, like I know that there's been like Seneca teams that have played, like Seneca Nation teams that have played. So I'm interested in what the 4 nations are going to be. But they're also doing it in collaboration with the NLL, like the Indoor Lacrosse League. And the difference between this and the PLL is that they're using the Olympic Sixes rules, which is kind of like a hybrid of the outdoor lacrosse that we see in the PLL and the indoor lacrosse. It's because outdoor lacrosse is 10 players per side, I believe. Sixes obviously is six-a-side, which is what they have in indoor lacrosse. Bigger field, though, than indoor lacrosse, still outside. So it's kind of like a hybrid to make it more fast-paced and more fit for the Olympics. And so it's cool. They literally said in their press release, like they hope that this does for lacrosse what Four Nations did for hockey and what World Baseball Classic has done for baseball, and kind of get them geared up to for the Olympics. It's going to be I'm very excited to see lacrosse in the Olympics in LA 2030 or 2028. I think it's going to be very cool. So yeah, I big things happening in the PLL.
And it should be noted, Four Nations are doing a tournament for a sport that features a face-off. So do you think we will be getting any of, can we bring back the promo, or does like the NHLPA own that shit, or the NHL?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I was briefly looking into like kind of the differences between sixes and
is there not a face-off?
Lacrosse. I think there's differences in how lacrosse is, or how the face-offs work. I don't know exactly. Not a whole lot of experience with sixes. But I do know that part of what the point of sixes was to make it a little more fast-paced and flowing, kind of like basketball. And at points, like the way face-offs work in field lacrosse, like you could have a face-off last for a minute. Like it's two guys struggling. So I think there might be some differences in the face-off, how the face-offs work in sixes. But I'm honestly not entirely sure. I believe there probably still are face-offs though, so you could do the Four Nations facing off.
Well, they're going to face off, and the United States is going to get ready to run things in the Olympics. Absolutely love it. Do we have Petey back? I see Petey is calling.
I believe so.
Petey, let's get him. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Give a warm What Chaos welcome back to Steve Peters. It's the guy. Hey, Petey.
You know what? This whole computer era. So I've got this computer decided a blue screen in the middle of talking about one of the most underrated and best horror movies of our generation, and it's now blue. So now, as a 58-year-old man, what the hell do I do now? Like, part of my livelihood depends on this thing working for an hour straight, and it does not. So my frustration level is quite high, DJ, on what's happening right now with the technology in my house here in Arizona.
So you were trying to use a blue screen?
No, dude, it came like my computer. The blue screen is death. I don't have.
Oh, blue.
Apple.
Oh, I thought you were saying that like, because I was like, what set were you in front of? Was he like doing a green screen? Were you doing like a little ultra key situation? I got you now.
Yeah, no, not that cool. My computer crashed, and again, of course, right in the middle of the chaos, creating more chaos. And you guys deserve better than that. So I am going to situate and improve my computer situation after today's show, because I cannot let that happen again mid-chaos.
Okay, I want to check in on the Choosing Texas controversy. Do any of you know what Choosing Texas or Ella Langley is?
So I do. I know the song, and I know of Ella Langley, and I knew that was like popping off. Like, I don't know if this is a DJ thing that DJ is discovering like a month and a half after it popped off, because Choosing Texas was definitely a big thing on the internet like a month ago.
Yes. So the news, though, is that she has logged 15 non-consecutive weeks at number one on the Billboard Hot 100, which makes her the longest running solo female country artist in the chart's history, and breaking it also broke another record that was held by Whitney Houston for I Will Always Love You and Mariah Carey for We Belong Together. And when it tied those songs, I saw people were mad, which basically you just take any news these days and say something happened and people were mad. And now it's broken the record of those songs and people are mad. A common refrain is, I haven't even heard that song. How is this a record? Who's listening to this? I've never heard that song. Sean, you said you've heard it before?
Oh, not in its completion. So it was big on the internet because there's the Choosing Texas part. That section of the song was often misheard, And so there was a lot of like memes about what people thought she was saying. When she actually wasn't when she was saying choosing. I don't think they were necessarily problematic. Although, I don't know if they were necessarily problematic. There was just a bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, I don't know who's listening to that full song, I guess.
The internet's really anti-Semitic, so I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely
where it could be going.
It was that, but I can't remember if like it was like problematic, or if it was just like choosing sounds like something else.
Okay, so I do not listen to like pop country music at all, really. Every now and then I'll check in to kind of see what's going on, but it's not my bag. I don't think it's the most enlightening or exciting music, and I just generally sit it out. I know this fucking song. I hear it at the gym all the time. It's played in my gym locker room like constantly, and I didn't know what it was, and I might get in a little trouble now. First few times I heard it, I was like, this song's fine. I kind of like this song, and I looked up what it was.
The part that I know, like the he's from Texas, I can tell.
Yep.
Two-stepping around the room. That's all I know about that song. I think that's the same song. I might not even. Yeah, it's got to be, right? Choosing Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says it's a run-of-the-mill pop country song. Everyone is doing too much about it. See, I disagree. Like this is a. When I hear a lot of modern songs, whether it's like modern, whether it's like a Noah Kahan song or whether it's like a pop country song, it's like I know exactly how that song is going to go once I've heard like 30 seconds of it. This is like songwriters got together and wrote a song, and it's co-written by Miranda Lambert, who has had a long career. And I'm like, yeah, it's not my favorite song, but I'm like, yeah, hey, that song's not bad. People are mad because they say they either haven't heard it or Ella Langley has been accused of being MAGA. Ella Langley has not expressed her political views, but has faced backlash because she followed Charlie Kirk on social media, and she played at a Kid Rock the Country concert. The only political statement she's made is she wore a shirt that had 3 boxes. One said Democrat, one said Republican, and then the one that was checked said country music. So this is all very fascinating to me.
I mean, are we really at a point in society where we're A, being surprised, and B, pretending that we can cancel a country music star for being MAGA? Like that's their whole fucking bag.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if she is, but like I respectfully, and I'm sorry if she's not, I assumed she was.
She's a fucking country music star who the only thing I know about her is a song called Choosing Texas. Like, what is... I would be surprised if she was anything else.
Well, famously in the song, she's talking about a guy that she's dating choosing Texas. Because she's drinking Jack all by herself.
Well, so that by the way was I looked it up because I couldn't remember fully what it was. The choosing Texas, I can tell, drinking Jack all by myself was often misquoted to be there's Jews in Texas, I can tell, drinking and jacking off myself. So that was like it became like a whole meme thing.
Well, there are Jewish people who live in Texas, and people do drink and then masturbate, I suppose.
A lot less. If she is confirmed MAGA, she's got a lot less benefit of the doubt, I suppose.
Well, wait, how's she doing it? We have breaking news. Ella Langley is confirmed MAGA?
No. That's what I'm saying. If she is confirmed MAGA, then who knows if she's being problematic.
Petey, how do you feel about the choosing Texas controversy?
Never heard of the song, never heard of the artist, don't plan on listening because, again, you heard it at the gym. You know where I'm not? At the gym. So unless they're playing at my local grocery store or on Tubi TV, then probably not going to hear it. So won't reach out. I just want to know, because last time you told me to listen to something, it was Putina Pov.
Angine de Poitrine.
Whatever the hell that thing was. That thing is, Yeah, and I'm like, I watched for 2 minutes. Go, what in the living hell am I watching? And it apparently blew up. So that was good on them.
Yeah, they are
But
huge.
but the point is, you and I, there is a large, vast chasm between our musical interest I can see and pop culture relativity. I have none. I'm zero. Don't know. Oh, a different audience than Young Gritty. I know he's on finger on the pulse. So Young Gritty's probably heard this song. I have not. Will not. Not going to check out my iTunes right after this and see if this is a part of it. Sorry, so I couldn't partake in the conversation. And it's not like she had the cover of her album with their goalie pads on the wrong leg. And that was enough for me to be turned off of her, Tate McRae, because she had the goalie pads on the right. I don't know who she is still. Don't care. But that was enough to turn the tables. This one, I got nothing. I really can't add to this show at all. See, the computer died, but your lights die.
Sean, you know what it sounds like?
What's that?
He's choosing other music.
He's not choosing Texas. He's choosing his couch.
I'm not choosing
famously.
Texas.
He is choosing.
I got nothing against Texas.
The Stars,
Texas
by the
is a great
way,
state. You know where to go.
the first time I heard of this person was when the Stars, I think in the playoffs, the Stars make their theme Ella Langley. Was that it, Sean? They posted something.
Yes,
that said,
she gave. Yeah,
in our
they gave out like sweaters or something that had choosing Texas on it or something like that.
It said
Seriously?
in our Ella Langley era, which in my blank era. Apologies to anyone who did that. I think you're
kind of reserved for one artist.
Want that one back. And they're wearing shirts that say Ella's Fellas. Yep, it's
Sure.
Well, it says Ella's Fellas. It's someone maybe holding weights, which it's because they play that song at the gym. And it says on the bottom USA. So Ella Langley confirmed MAGA.
In case you were confused about where Texas was at.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because if there's one state that wishes they weren't part of the United States, it is famously Texas.
Oh,
I mean, you know about their whole grid situation, right, DJ? Like this is
right
up
what,
your
they
alley.
have their own grid?
Yeah, and it's dog shit. And
Yeah, it's not
like a bunch of people died because they have their own grid and they had a snowstorm and weren't prepared for it.
It's not a good grid.
It's the worst grid. It's the worst of the three in the United States. I believe there's the two big ones, and then Texas has their own, and Texas sucks.
Yeah, I was very sad during that snowstorm. When was that? Was that like 2021, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a real fucking bummer, man. Hope everyone is
Can I
still okay.
And again, just to jump in, what the hell's a grid? Like power grid?
Yeah,
The power
tech
grid. Yeah.
Like what's a grid?
Texas
Oh,
has their own power
buddy,
grid.
you're going to find out what
I don't
a
know.
grid is one day when we're all fucked.
Well, we're talking about water here in the great state of Arizona. Water is our issue, so that's about to dry up. And so I will be moving back to the Midwest, and you can catch me in northern Minnesota on Lake Bemidji once the water dries up here. I don't know about power, but water.
He's choosing northern Minnesota. I can tell.
I am, clearly. And if you haven't been there, DJ, you would choose it as well. Slow, laid back, little water, little campfire on the beach, Bemidji, Minnesota. Yeah, different way of life. Dave's Pizza.
I love Minnesota. I also love Sports Interaction. Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Sports Interaction, Ontario, only 18+. Please play responsibly. Okay, gang, here's the deal. I looked it up, and the lines and odds for first coach fired are not out anywhere yet. I think that those actually usually drop like right when the season starts, if memory serves. But what I can give you is nation of the Stanley Cup champion in the 2026-27 season. United States is minus 588 and Canada is plus 426. Would it be crazy, Petey, to say, fuck it, this could be the year? Either I think there's what? How many Canadian teams do you think actually have a shot here? 2?
Like 1.5? Yeah.
Montreal, Toronto, Edmonton.
I don't know if I give Toronto that, but I would say Montreal or Edmonton plus 426.
Absolutely
you know what? Those
not.
aren't great odds
Absolutely
for
not.
one of these three
shot.
teams wins.
Yeah, absolutely no way I'm doing that. Like, I don't believe in either of those teams. I believe in the Canadians probably more at this point than I do the Oilers, but the Panthers are back, man. Nothing matters anymore.
Yeah.
I know,
You're
man.
right.
If you could have given me state of Florida versus the rest of North America, and I'd probably be more likely to take that than I would be Canada.
I would take Florida over Canada as well.
God, that
I'm in
sucks.
with DP on this.
Canada,
one.
figure
the
your
problem in
shit
Toronto,
out.
Canada's not going to, and I hate to say it, it's just statistics. Like, they're not going to win it again. Like, they're not. And Montreal are having the best choices because they have a team that plays together. And I don't see that in Toronto, and I don't see that in Edmonton. So maybe Montreal, but dude, look at the teams they got to get through. Carolina, Florida, Tampa. No, it's staying in the States. Sorry, everybody can hate me. Again, by the way, I'm half Canadian. Throw that out there. My dad Canadian. Shout out Fort Francis, Ontario. But so it's not where my bias. I just think it's going to stay in the States again. Sorry, no Canada. No Canada.
Oh, classic.
You know I'm trying to sing "Oh Canada" at an NHL game.
Oh, really?
I don't want to sing the U.S. national anthem, and I haven't. I've only just said it on this show to like Pete and Sean a million times, and hopefully anyone in the chat pulls strings there. I'm not interested. This is for non-political reasons. I'm not interested in singing the Star Spangled Banner. So in an American market,
comparatively,
what's that?
So that song sucks compared to the Canadian national anthem.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to sing the better song. So whether it's an American market a game where you have to do both, I'll just come in for the Canadian anthem, the better one, some would say. Get in, get out, give me and my loved ones a suite. It's all I ask for to watch the game. Sean could be there. Pete, chicken fingers, whole nine. Not asking for much here. Private pro shop wars with $2,000 in credit for everyone who's there, and I get to achieve my dream of singing the Canadian national anthem.
It just have to be the NHL, DJ?
It kind of does. I might do.
Okay,
maybe I'll reach out to some AHL teams to be like, hey,
yeah,
it would be an honor, even though it's not my ultimate dream.
There. Like, work your way up. You're trying to be like a kid getting drafted. Like, yeah, I'm going right to the show. No, you got to earn your way up. You got to go to Red Deer Rebels and get on stage, or the Moose Jaw Warriors. Starting the CHL, just try it. You're close to the border. You could drive up there, make the quick drive into Ontario, play the OHL or the Q. Q they'd be tough because your French wouldn't be good enough. But the OHL, yes, you start there and then work your way up, and then maybe by 27-28 season, we're looking at a DJ in Buffalo. Maybe you can sing it there, but I do think you got to work your way there, man. It's just like any other phase to get yourself to the NHL.
All right, I'm gonna try. I don't know how to sing, by the way. I'm gonna have to take singing lessons.
Well, yeah, that's a precursor.
I croon my ass off.
Just
on
like
this
Drysdale
show.
Drysdale cannot play the guitar.
I want to know how you felt.
Accompanying you.
I want to know how you felt about that as a guitar player, because
we're really disappointed in 5 months, dude. 5 months of lessons? Fire the teacher, buddy.
When did you learn?
I picked up a guitar at 9.
Yeah,
9 years
same.
old.
It's me.
Lessons, read the music.
9?
There we go.
9?
Yeah. So I started at 8, and I think that if I tried to start playing guitar now, I'd be fucking terrible. And I started at 8, and I'm no great shakes at 38.
Yep.
So I think that, as I said to him, learning things as an adult is harder than learning as a kid.
But here's the depressing part for you, DJ. As I use this, as we know, I run a little hot. I run a little high on the stress meter, and Sean will attest to that. I run 9, 10, 11 at times, and the guitar helps bring me down. It helps center me. It helps make me a little more relaxed. I really enjoy it for myself, not for anybody else, for everybody else, for me. However, we're getting to the point now, and this is not a joke, that it's getting hard to play. And my hand, like, it hurts, like the arthritis and and I'm getting to a point that it's very sad when you get into your late 50s and 60 is approaching, that you're going to lose some things in your life that you used to be able to do. And for me, the thought of losing the ability to do that is really, really, it's terrifying, but it's really sad. So enjoy this moment, DJ, because it will happen. There will come a time where you look at that guitar and go, dude, I just can't. My fingers just don't move like that anymore. So embrace it, enjoy it, and if living your dream, playing in bars in the greater Boston metro area is part of your dream, then dude, live it. Get out there. Start hucking on the streets with your guitar.
Yeah. I haven't played out in probably like a year and a half now, but even like then, maybe it's just from not playing as often. I was never a particularly nimble player. Never when I say I couldn't really shred, I was nothing special.
You're pretty darn good.
In terms of flying up and down the neck. I'm slow as molasses now. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only 18+. Please play responsibly. Okay, let's do some super chats, shall we? And if anybody hasn't liked this yet, I guess we should have called for a like spike during the Drysdale interview before some people turned on us. But what are you going to do? Leanna Biana says, the World Junior Summer Showcase is going on right now. Hell yeah. Shark Squatch 55 says, hey Siri, play Baby Shark, Pop's juice bottle. Generic Red Circle says, gritty forward conditioning talk on my Cersei podcast. Petey, dare I ask, what do you know about Cersei?
Very little, but I can go back and start reading. Or I'll watch a movie. Percy.
At least you know who that is.
I did watch Percy Jackson. If that helps. And that's because my kid watched it. But yeah, I will not. I will not know any more about Cersei. Sorry.
Yo, I can't remember if. Did I hit this on the Patreon episode, or it might have been like right after? I'm reading in Cersei, this book by Madeline Miller, and there are all these characters, and I can't keep track of them, all the names, and every time I get a new character, I burn the name into my brain so I can keep track of the story, and they're talking about Daedalus's kid, and I'm like, they mention him a few times, and I'm like, they haven't said what Daedalus's kid's name is. I don't know what this, so I fucking spoiled it for myself. I Googled what's Daedalus's kid's name, and it's fucking Icarus. So I like 2 pages later.
Icarus is the kid?
Yeah, Daedalus is Icarus's.
I thought they were brothers.
No.
I thought they were brothers going to the sun and melting their wings. See what an idiot I am.
No, Daedalus made the wings and was like, as long as you don't just don't fly close to the sun, obviously. And Icarus is like, yeah, okay, Dad.
Melt. Dude, got this. Yeah, I'm going to go to the sun. They're going to melt.
R.I.P. to Icarus. That was a big loss.
Yep.
Emma Haven says, been away for a bit. I went to the bookstore and I got told I had the strangest collection the gal at the register has ever seen. The books were A, a picture book with words of wisdom from cats. 2, Lonesome Dove. 3, The Long Game. Amazing. Hell yeah. I like that. I like the confounding bookstore hauls. Thank you very much, Emma. Appreciate it. Unregistered Trademark says, first day I miss What Chaos Live, and what a show to miss. Young Gritty says, obligatory I love Petey. Yes. I mean, if everyone who felt that super chatted that, this we would be paying rent very well. Stephanie Mills says, thank you to my Yacht Rock King for keeping it real. Yeah, I think this was probably when I did the big setup for is unrestricted free agency back, and you were like, no. That was awesome. Any more super chats, Sean?
Nope.
All right. A nice, tidy super chat collection. Let's see, guys, this is not uncommon. Yeah, we're getting a lot of Icarus chat. I don't get that. Young Grady says Flyers. Like, oh, I got it. Flyers. Like Icarus because he flew close to the sun. Matt Friender Foe says, I did an Odyssey / Hadestown double feature this weekend, back-to-back 3-hour Greek mythology movies. Highly recommend. I think Hadestown actually might be in Boston, someone said to me, so I might go to that if possible. Soap Cilantro says, beautiful American chaoses, please vote in your primary election next Tuesday. Unrelated, go Habs, go. Every word of that, especially.
Vote.
What? Yeah, I
vote,
like
vote,
people
vote.
saying go Habs go while Pete is on assignment because I know that that is the message that he would submit if he were here. Petey, thank you so much for doing this. You know that you are core chaos family. We love having you. We especially love having you for long stretches. Very, very grateful to have you for a full show, my friend.
Well, DJ, I miss the chaos, and it's been a long time since I've been here. And I hopefully I can make an appearance and see my good friend Pete after his Hawaii honeymoon. Don't talk about the word honeymoon around my wife because we still haven't gone on one. We've been married 17 years, and I'll be in a lot of trouble. Shh, no one's
Is that
listening,
right?
so it's fine. Yeah, it's true. I gotta work. We had to go. Like, there's no time. You gotta work, right? Don't you gotta
I
work?
realized-
We can't take 2 weeks off in the hockey season. You gotta go.
I realized like 2 weeks ago, I accidentally never gave my sister and brother-in-law a wedding gift, and their wedding was like a year and a half ago, which I know you have a year to make it right. So number one there, like, fuck, oops, I got to make that right. Number two, I'm like, what if I've forgotten to give other people wedding gifts? And like, that would like,
Yeah,
what if I didn't give Pete a wedding gift and he
when you get
secretly
older,
hates me?
DJ, you won't care. When you get older, you don't care. Like, you just won't care. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm worried about me, my little neighborhood. This is it. Like, everybody else, you don't have time for it. Like, if you're trying to make everybody else happy, you're gonna make nobody happy. So worry about yourself first, and then push it outward from there. So you can't worry about those kind of things right now, DJ. I'm telling you, just take care of your village, your people that are close by, and things will fall into place. You're going to be okay, DJ.
The great Billy Joel said, do what's good for you or you're not good for anybody. And that is, I think, a great, great line. You know, obviously don't be shitty to people. That's something that I hope
love people.
everybody
Be good to people.
prioritizes. And when you're shitty,
And I say this,
you know, try to catch
DJ,
yourself.
I'm going to step on you saying this because I don't want to be kind of a smart ass that it's just about me. Here's what I vow people to do on this show, and I said this on PHNX when I was with Sean in Phoenix. There are so many people out there with mental health issues. We saw it in the NHL over the summer with Claude Lemieux, and there are people you don't know that are feeling the way they feel. They might be smiling and laughing and on the outside doing that, but inside they're hurting. So here's what I want everybody listening now, and there's over 600 people listening right now, and whoever watches it recorded, when you get done with the show, and I want you to stay till the end because you don't want to miss any nuggets, when this show is over, call somebody, anybody, a friend, a neighbor, somebody from high school you haven't talked to in 30 years, your mom, your dad. Call somebody and ask them, how are you doing? But most importantly, mean it and listen. And I'm telling you, if 667 people do that when this call gets over and tell those people to call somebody, everybody feels a little bit better. And it is so important. It is so important to take care of the people that you love and that you know, because you never know what's going on. Because it is important that we have each other. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. And that's from a guy who also wants you to watch Obsession as soon as possible. So
100%.
He's giving you a full day of checking on your loved ones, telling, I love that. I love the call someone thing can be a little intimidating for people who maybe didn't grow up on phone calls. But God, does it feel good? I'm a little older, so I fall into I can call someone easily, but I know that sometimes people are a little weird about phone calls. But God, does it hit? And especially if you have a parent or someone, and to quote J.K. Simmons, the like call your mom kind of thing. If you can do that, absolutely fucking do it. And also, if you have a compliment to pay somebody. I'm not as good about call someone and like that is better. You are a more considerate person than me. My little thing is if you realize someone does something well, or if you think somebody killed it on something, it's not going to annoy them if you text them like, hey, saw that thing you did. You're killing it right now. Or like, hey, I noticed that you're really good at this. Maybe it'll come off a little weird, but like if you have something nice to say, Lord knows how often we say shitty things and then after are like, fuck, why did I have to do that? And then you kick yourself all day. If you have the nice thing to say the nice thing.
Yeah, because you know what, DJ? And I'll say this as someone who puts their opinions out into the world as you do every single day. And if you get caught up looking at what people have to say about what you said, it can be a big kick in the nuts when you see how stupid you are. You're an idiot. What the fuck do you know? Like, one comment like that versus 10 that go, hey, that was a really, like, you don't hear the other 10. You hear the one, and we got to put that negative. Man, don't tell somebody they're stupid, they suck. They don't. Just don't send it. Just leave it. If you don't like them, change the channel. If you don't like me, change the channel. That's better than telling me I'm an idiot. And so I agree with you, Pete. Say something good to people. And this is what the chaos is about. Hockey plus entertainment equals chaos. And I do want one more parting shot, DJ, that I think the next 2 months, all of August and most of September, less the last 3 days of the month, your team has a chance. Your team has a chance. We made great moves. We did great trades. We signed good guys. We didn't sign good guys, but we love our core. All of those things you get for the next 60 days. Because once the puck drops, teams that suck are still going to suck. Sorry, it is what it is. Teams that are good are going to be good. And so enjoy the 2 months when you think your team has a chance, because pretty soon they won't.
Yeah, I can't wait for hockey to come back. I've got a vacation coming up next week, and I'm excited for that. But I really am. I'm finding myself watching the clips when I see the flashback to when this player scored a goal, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want to watch that goal." I'm in. I'm so excited. Sean, hell of a job as usual today. We don't say that enough around here. I'm paying you the compliment. Good job producing this show, buddy.
Thank you.
Can't wait to talk obsession with you on the next Patreon one, maybe. And if anyone isn't on the Patreon, it's where we get into a little more of the pop culture-y stuff, and it is a great time. We've got an episode up this week in which we talk about what? Oh, Sean and I have an absolute blast casting the Michael 2 sequel, which I believe
didn't really
is already
do a whole lot of casting. Like, it was kind of pre-cast. We put some pieces together, I would say.
Yeah, more investigative work. Very good time. Thank you, everybody who watched the show. Thank you so much to Jamie Drysdale for coming on. Thank you to the Flyers for making it happen. And if Pete is listening on his honeymoon, which I know he has greater things to do, we can't wait to talk to you next week, buddy. All right, bye, everyone. Have a great week. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.